Okay, so Satanic Bible Study. This would be on January the 7th. So he starts off, or the preacher started off talking about how singing is worship. So I've heard this before, and I jotted on my notes. So when I'm singing to Marilyn Manson or Harley Poe, I'm worshiping Satan. I was being snarky. I said, works for me. So then they prayed. Swear it sounds like snake oil salesman. I didn't jot down what they were praying over. Sometimes it just kind of, does anybody have somebody to pray for? Blah blah blah. Let's see. Then he started talking about you're guilty of sin that can't be measured with science. They have a cure for illness that is unseen, and they claim they can cure you. Just believe. Sigh. Still praying. What's the purpose of prayer if God is all-knowing? If you die, it was your time. If you live, praise God. And I put, in parentheses, moving the goalpost. It's a, kind of just a point of argument where no matter what happens, God is the good guy, and if something does go wrong, then it's either your perspective that's wrong or, quote unquote, Satan did it. Right? Just BS. I think the topic he had was knowledge. Knowledge that is factual and non-factual. Okay, so claims that Bible is factual. Doesn't show it. Gives us knowledge. Gives us knowledge in Bible. Yet angry, we ate fruit of knowledge. So yeah, that's something that doesn't make sense. Okay, so the topic of knowledge is continued. He said, 1 John chapter 5, the Bible is true because the Bible say so. Jesus must be true because Bible say so. This is me, I'm not saying that this is a direct quote from this is the passage he was reading from, but I just kind of, how do you want to say, rewrit what I heard. I'm not going to pull out my book and read this. If someone wants to question me on that, I can. I do have the Holy Fable. Then he's got, I think he said something like Elijah chapter 55 verse 6. My ways are higher than yours, which I put egotistical. And let's see, God all powerful, all present, and all knowing. God is everything. And then claims that if you don't believe in Jesus, you are dead inside. So yeah, this was the pastor saying these, and I just put the question mark at the end because obviously it's questionable. Then he talks about people mourning for dead loved ones. Claims that we are born in sin, and me being snarky, put in parentheses, human sacrifice is the only way for God to forgive. Let's see here. Brimstone preaching. Turn or burn, basically. So I put on here. Yeah, it's this scare tactics. If you don't believe, you'll burn kind of deal. We are born in sin, is what he's saying. And then guilty of a crime we didn't commit. So we're born in a, supposedly born in a negative light from get-go. We're already screwed unless we believe in something we can't prove. Yeah, I'm not buying it. So if we don't do anything wrong, okay, just unconvinced of unprovable claims can lead to endless torment. Yeah, even if you do nothing wrong, just not being convinced means that you are damned. Right. Claims heaven is full of mansions just for us. I put in my notes, greed much. He takes the rapture literal. He went into some detail about how like people just one day would just poof, be like just clothes or whatever, and the rest of us will just know, we're the ones left behind. Brings up the verse that says, "Ask and you shall receive according to his will." So, I thought of a lot of different things I could have put, but I just put that. So why doesn't God get rid of COVID? Because, obviously I have no doubt that COVID affects Christians just as much as it affects non-Christians. Everybody's affected by a disease. So, there's plenty of people praying for something like cancer. Might as well be. Cancer is something that's been around before. People have prayed, both religious or just wished it to go away. For other people. They say don't pray selfishly. How many people have been Christians that prayed over, remove someone else's cancer? That's never happened. Not scientifically provable. Let's see here. 10. Not enough prayers. Punishment for sins. I put in parentheses Mike's pain. He elaborated to some degree about how he's in a large amount of physical pain every day for some kind of diagnosis. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I find it questionable that all these, and I've brought that to his attention, if I don't pray for myself, for me to win money or whatever, happiness and so forth, but I pray for your pain to go away and it doesn't go away, doesn't that kind of prove that prayer is pointless? So, then he put, let's see, so he said, it's an honor to pray, even though, and then I put in my own thoughts, even though it's his way anyway, like, it doesn't make sense to me. 2 Corinthians claims that Satan hides truth, deception, science, and critical thinking. Right, okay, so the preacher made a claim that Satan hides the truth, right? And I guess this is all I was thinking is like, if deception is science, critical thinking, and, trying to be aware of what things are, and be able to have proof of it, then it doesn't sound like Satan, Satan meaning, they take it literally in the Bible, but just Satan in general means adversary. If the adversary of God is saying, look a little closer, and what do you actually see and what do you not see, then it sounds to me like the adversary, instead of actually just saying Satan, just the adversary of God, is saying, maybe God's full of shit, and, just take a little closer look. Uses doctor and on deathbed. Saying that if you're going to live for X months, or say no to a doctor, claims Satan may make truth painful. I don't know what tangent he was going on here. Claims Satan beats you down when you're miserable, and claims Satan hides truth. So, the preacher was going on a rant, I guess. Just kind of like that fear-mongering deal. All the negative things in your world must be from the adversary, blah, 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 because God's only love, right? When I'm done going through some of these, because I will run out of these notes. I only stay there for a month, or almost a month, 3 weeks. I will dig into the actual book of fables itself. But yeah, God is not love, or a God of that Bible. So yeah, it's the fear-mongering. So here I put, how can you say don't trust doctors and provide improvable science, yet Satan's hide truth? Claims a personal relationship with Jesus and then beg God for forgiveness for sin. And I put on here self-accountability. You know, again, not I am being picky on the words, but you know, if you do something wrong, I don't care what your relationship is with quote unquote Jesus or whatever, and you can beg Jesus for forgiveness. You know, you're for quote unquote sin, but if you did something wrong, it's usually to another human. You've wronged another human. Asking forgiveness from Jesus isn't going to fix the problem. God creates Adam and Eve. Knows Satan is in the garden. Lets quote unquote Satan convince a naive human to eat the fruit of truth. Needs Jesus' sacrifice to forgive us. Leaves no evidence other than a book that can be perceived many ways, and that disbelief or believing incorrectly can cause you to burn forever. Believe you get mountains in the sky and don't get punished. Let's see. Mansions. Okay. Yeah, if you believe you get mansions in the sky, and if you don't, you get punished. Carrot and stick routine. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, so, again, there will be repeats in the future of some of this information. Unfortunately, that is part of the indoctrination, is to repeat stuff. But, yeah, a lot of fear-mongering and believe in us kind of deal, or burn. So that's day 7. I can't promise I'll put a video out every night, but I will try to knock out these notes within this coming month. Try to get at least one day done per day, if not maybe 2. Until possibly tomorrow or the day after. Hope you enjoyed.